Hello and welcome to the Scott Ballard Show right here on the Warrior Sports Network. I'm Cory Prudoehl, joined as always by head women's basketball coach Scott Ballard. Coach, you knew you had two big games last week, kind of a mixed bag, as unable to put away Minnesota State on Friday, and then rebounded with a big win over Concordia-St. Paul on Saturday. So I'll kind of talk about how you felt letting one get away on Friday in overtime after having a big lead, but then the way your team kind of rebounded with a really good win over Concordia.
Well, Mankato is a really good basketball team, and they're a team of runs. They're an up-tempo team. They shoot the three very well, and they play fast. And so a team like that is a team that wants a lot of possessions in the game. And we did a really good job of controlling tempo the entire game. They only had, I believe, 4-6 points off of turnovers or fast break. We really played well and led the game for 38 minutes, but we had a dry spell from about the 8-minute mark to the 2-minute mark where we didn't score a field goal. We might have made a few free throws, whatever. And so they ate away at our lead, and they finally caught us about the 2-minute mark, and the crowd got into it. Their players got, inspired and motivated and started playing harder. And honestly, I think some of our kids got tired. Looking back on it now, I wish that we would have subbed a little bit more at the 8-minute mark so that some of our, players that we wanted to finish the game would have been fresh. But, it's all hindsight now. Bottom line is that we fouled too much in the last 8 minutes of the game. They got to the free throw line a lot. Aubrey Davis pretty much took over the game and started trying to dribble drive. They started setting a lot of high ball screens for her and just letting her try to create and make plays for herself or teammates. And we had to make a couple defensive stands inside the last 30 seconds to push it into overtime, which it felt like the St. Cloud game again. I was proud of how our kids, responded in the late game situation. Actually, Hannah McGlone had to make a couple free throws. Yep. We were down 2, and she had to make a couple free throws with 28 seconds to go to tie the game. Then we had to get a couple stops and did that. In overtime, first possession, we got a post player stuck in the lane with the ball. They do. And she actually was in the lane for 8 seconds on the shot clock. Eventually scores, and they got up 5 on us quick, and then we scored the last couple times we had the ball to get it down to 1. And their last possession, Delzato, clock is down to 2, and she's almost topped the key and just throws up a prayer, trying to hit the rim, give himself a chance to get an offensive rebound, and darn thing goes in. So then we were down 3 with 20 seconds to go, and it makes it a little bit more predictable defensively, what to try to take away. The three's the only thing that can hurt you. So that made it challenging. But we got a good look for Connor, and she thought it was in. It was right on. It just hit the front of the rim instead of rolling in. It rolled off. But so that was a frustrating and disappointing loss because we had played so well and probably outplayed them for 38 minutes. But because we had 5-6 minutes that we didn't score, and then we fouled too much, and they got opportunities to score without the clock running. So they ended up winning that game, and we were tied with them for second place in the standings, so we're a game behind them now. But to bounce back 24 hours later, or less than 24 hours actually, and go up to Concordia, who had just beaten Mankato at Mankato on Tuesday earlier in the week, to go to their place, and it was a tight game. It was a physical game. It wasn't an up-tempo game, but it was really a grind in the half court, and they've got a lot of size. And they got 2 first-team all-conference players in Carney and Whiting. And Whiting was coming off a 30-point game the night before and ended up with a double-double against us. But tight game, and with 6 minutes to go, I think they were up 2. They got a technical. We make both free throws. We score on the possession. We took the lead again, and then we went on an 11-0 run in the last 5 minutes to give ourselves a cushion to work with inside the last 2 minutes, and took care of the ball, made our free throws. I like the way that we finished that game, and things that we struggled with on Friday night in the last 3 minutes of the game, we really excelled at Saturday night against Concordia. So anytime you go on the road in our league and get a split, you got to feel pretty good about it. But we know that we were that close to, sweeping the weekend. And now that's behind us, so we're done with our road trips, and we have our last regular season home games of the year this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Going back to that Concordia game really quick again, Connor Nagel, I thought one of maybe her best games that she's had all around, with the 13 points, then 8 assists, which was a career high for her, and then 7 rebounds as well. What did you think? Do you think that was one of her best performances?
Well, I thought she did a really good job. I thought her decision making was good. Late in the game, that last 5 minutes, we really shared the ball well, made the extra pass. We had 4 different people score on 5 consecutive possessions. Hannah McGlone hit a couple mid-range to 15-foot jumpers. Alexis Foley got in transition and finished the layup. Tara Roloff hit a big 3 at top of the key. And even though Katie Zepsic and Kayla Timmerman didn't get a lot of points, they really did a good job on the boards, and they did a good job when they touched the ball, knowing where the shooters were at. And our bench didn't score much for us in that game, but they helped us as far as being able to rest key people for the stretch run down the last 5 minutes. And so it was a great team effort and made for a fun bus ride home.
Yep. So I'm sure you'd obviously prefer 2-0, but two tough teams, and any road win you can get is always a good one. And now you come home for 2 probably even bigger games coming up this weekend against Augustana and Wayne State. We'll talk about that a little bit later in the week right here on the Scott Ballard Show on the Warrior Sports Network.